42 million Americans are at risk of losing critical food assistance next month amid the government shutdown. Hey, it's not looking too bad out here. We have to remember that there's going to be about 13,000 people expected to travel at this particular airport today. We are following that press conference live from the Pentagon. We're hyping the Jags up. More than 2,600 protests were planned for Saturday. Nearly 7 million people attended. You ready? 3, 2, 1. Duval. All right, we know you're from Virginia, so we're going to work on that. I mean, we're wearing our colors this morning. You know, representing for the city, for the Jags. Yeah. Now that the sun is up, you're really getting the extent of that damage here. You can see just how badly charred the garage is. Now, one of the big questions we want to know, Rick, do you think the country will support the president's actions? Attorneys for Luigi Mangione are asking the judge to dismiss a federal indictment that makes him eligible for the death penalty. Mangione is accused of gunning down United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson last year. Now I want you to follow me this way so you can actually get a better look of what we're seeing out here. There is a massive presence. Can you imagine what that family went through?
No, I cannot. That's why this story is just, I can't, it's almost unbelievable.
Oh my gosh, I think I would faint. Covering Georgia, it's a solemn weekend for one coastal community. Sunday marks 1 year since a deadly gangway collapsed on Sapelo Island. Let's go straight to News4Jax reporter Caleb Yager. Caleb, the fire remains under investigation by the state fire marshal. And you know, the numbers on this map here are really eye-opening. These numbers are from the National Head Start Association, and you can see Florida and Georgia are leading the way with the places most impacted. I want you to notice the stream here that is pouring into the street even after the rain. Now it trickles all the way down into the street and right here onto the grass. Meteorologist Michelle McCormick is back with us, and it is a pretty nice day out there, Michelle.
I feel my body cracking.
Live from the local station, the morning show starts now.
The manhunt is underway following a deadly shooting at a country club in New Hampshire. What investigators know so far and the warning to residents. Good morning. Thank you so much for sticking with us. We have so much to get to still. Around the country, heavy rains triggered flash floods and deadly mudslides in parts of Southern California Thursday. The storms were sparked by remnants of a tropical storm in the Pacific. Attorneys for Luigi Mangione are asking the judge to dismiss a federal indictment that makes him eligible for the death penalty. Mangione is accused of gunning down United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson last year. According to a court filing yesterday, Mangione's attorneys argue his constitutional rights were violated following, quote, a torrent of prejudice from multiple public officials. His attorneys argue it would be impossible for Mangione to get to a fair trial. The court filing pointed to statements made by Attorney General Pam Bondi, as well as the perp walk in New York that showed him coming off a helicopter in shackles. Mangione has pleaded not guilty to all federal and state charges. A manhunt is underway for a suspect involved in a shooting at a country club in Nashua, New Hampshire. Police say they've detained one person and are still looking for the second suspect. Investigators say only one person is dead and multiple others were injured at Sky Meadow Country Club. Nashua is about 45 minutes or so from Boston on the Massachusetts border, and authorities in nearby Dunstable, Massachusetts, ordered residents to shelter in place out of an abundance of caution while police look to capture the second suspect. Police are still in their early stages of their investigation, and a motive for the attack remains unclear at this time.
Time right now is 8:37. President Donald Trump is escalating his push to take Bagram Air Base in Afghanistan from the Taliban. The president issued a warning to the Taliban on social media. He said if the base is not returned to the United States, there would be, quote, stark consequences.
The president did not specify what those consequences would be exactly, but he also spoke about his administration's desire to reclaim the base after he met with reporters in Britain several days ago. But sources tell CNN those discussions began last March. The Taliban took the base over when the Afghanistan government collapsed and the U.S. military withdrew from the country back in 2021. The Trump administration says a deal to keep TikTok operating in the U.S. should be complete in about a few days. A group of U.S. investors will own 80% of the app. Chinese investors will own the remaining 20%. Now, the White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt said yesterday, under the proposed plan, the U.S. will have control over the app's algorithm. She also said the U.S. will hold 6 of the 7 company board seats. Last year, Congress passed a bill that banned the popular app in the U.S. over national security concerns. The bill stated TikTok would no longer be available in the U.S. unless China sold it to the U.S. Time now, 8:38 this morning. A historic theater in Jacksonville is hitting a big milestone today, and it wants people who live in the city to help celebrate.
Coming up on the morning show, we'll learn more about the free community event happening just a few hours from now at the Ritz Theater.
It's where the past and present walk side by side. Historic Springfield, founded back in 1869, still oozes the same charm it did more than 150 years ago.
My husband and I like to take walks.
For Chrissy Cudd, this place isn't just home, it's magic.
You don't find any historical neighborhoods like this one.
She's been here more than a decade, and she's still just as smitten. You've been here for 15 years. That's a long time.
Right, yes.
What made you move here?
Like most people, we thought we were moving here because of the houses. We appreciated the history, what everything looked like. But as it turns out, we're here because of just so much more.
Think wraparound porches, century-old brickwork, and front doors that could tell stories of their own.
Everything's walking distance around here.
Chrissy takes me street by street, pointing out the roots still running deep through these sidewalks.
That house right there, 1524, is where Oliver Hardy used to live. If you think of Laurel and Hardy, he rented there during the 4 years that he was here making movies.
But ask anyone around here, and they'll tell you, the real heart of Springfield isn't just its history.
Hello, Cherie.
It's the people.
Hi, good morning.
That's why Cherie Picard believes she manifested her way in.
I drove by this house for 13 years. So I would drive by. Every time I came to Springfield, I would sit out there across the street. I'm like, that's my house.
Now she's a proud new owner, and she invited us inside where the past still lingers in every room.
I mean, just look at the detail.
Near the front door, a gallery wall with black and white portraits of the original owners, frozen in time, but still watching over.
They were Fitch, was the last name. So, and this is the little girl that she was born in my bedroom in 1910.
Wow, how did you find out she was born in your bedroom?
Historical stuff. So one of the previous owners actually met the grandkids of this family and got a lot of the family history from them and actually gave them these pictures, which it's great. They've handed it down to the next owner as well.
In historic Springfield, the homes are old, but the spirit still alive and well.
Anything you'd want to be interested in, you're going to find somebody who's interested in it as well here.
Because here, you don't just live in history, you become part of it.
That sign sums it up.
Yeah.
That says Springfield as much as anything right there.
Brianna Andrews, Channel 4, the local station. Jacksonville has a growing Latino community that is making strides from successful restaurants to booming businesses. Graciela Kane is a part of it. They are a proud, non-binary Mexican-American DJ and activist born and raised in Jacksonville with their own mural on 18th Street. But when people see Graciela, they often say they don't see a Latin person.
What are people's responses or reactions when you tell them that you're Latina?
A lot of folks don't get that. They're like, wait, what? Huh?
Adrian Ross is a Panamanian American, also a part of Jacksonville's growing Latin community, and agrees.
Oh, you're Hispanic? Oh, well, say something. So I was like, oh, okay. Hola, ¿cómo estás? You know, like silly things like this. It's those silly things, those micro things are things that you had to do to prove yourself. But yeah, that and like, hey, can you dance? Oh, okay, tell me about some food. Like a quiz, really, when you tell them you're Hispanic.
Unfortunately, that is a common experience reported by Afro-Latinos nationwide whose experiences are influenced by race, skin tone, and various factors in ways distinct from those of other Hispanics, including struggling with their Black identity. Pew Research conducted a survey asking Afro-Latinos about their race. Only 18% of Afro-Latinos said they were Black, compared to 39% who identified as white, while almost a quarter, 24%, said their race was Hispanic, which is an ethnicity, not a race.
Was there ever a point where you felt like you had to choose between being Latino and being black?
That's interesting. I think it wasn't, what it was is that there was like a feeling of you're black, but like don't lean into that. You know what I mean? Like, we're all mixed, everything's great, but, you know, hay que mejorar la raza. Like, we have to make the race better, right? And so, I know they say it jokingly, but I mean, still, the fact that it's even said is kind of a blatantly racist thing to say, right? And so, yeah, so that's those types of things that you hear, those types of jokes about pelo malo, things like this, those things make you feel like something's wrong with you being a black person, you know what I mean?
A majority, 62% of Hispanic adults say having a darker skin color hurts Hispanics' ability to get ahead in the United States today. A similar share, 59%, says having a lighter skin color helps Hispanics get ahead. And 57% say skin color shapes their daily life experiences, with about half saying discrimination based on race or skin color is a very big problem in the U.S.
When I was a young person, I used to go to like a youth group that was like a Spanish youth group. And, you know, it was hard because, yeah, I didn't speak Spanish. And so seeing those like young people, like, you know, talking to each other and like, you know, being within their cultures. And then it's like, oh, yeah, this is Gracie or this is, you know, da da da. And I think I was like, whoa, no, like my name is actually Graciela, like, you know, trying to like reaffirm like my culture, like in that way. You know, it was really rough and it was tough as a young person.
Graciela and Adrian insist they don't fit the mold of what's portrayed in the mainstream media or in Hollywood with stars like Jennifer Lopez, Eva Longoria, and Mario Lopez among the few representing the community in Hollywood. Those conversations sparked the start of the Afro-Latino movement.